Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Saturday, March 13th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. I am so glad to be back. It's been an awful couple days here, not couple days, but one day, and it sure was a hassle with everything that was going on, so I am back and I am so ready to go and get coloring on. Thank you, Sandra. Hey. Hello, hello. Okay, so I'm on my iPad. I have to look into the camera dot to have you see me and face on, so if I'm looking off to the side, it's just because of this stupid thing. But hey, hi Sandra K. So I am so glad to be back on, and yay, yay, yay. Thank you so much for all the people that were asking about my connection and why I wasn't on and da-da-da-da. So good to be back. Okay, so let's talk about upcoming events. Oh gosh, now I got to be really careful about rubbing my nose and all the things I do when you can't see me. Ooh, that's bad. Hey Wanda, how you doing? Good to see ya. So I'm kind of waiting for people to fall in the door here. Katie, hello. Melissa, hello. Oh, I missed you guys too. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Okay. The queen is back. Okay. All right. So let me grab my camera, my calendar here. So we have got a lot of things coming up. Please go ahead, share the broadcast, please, because that would be great for everybody. And so the 16th we have Dawn on the co-color. She and I will be coloring the same piece on camera, and we will also get the piece to you, so you can color it as well, and we can all you guys can poke fun at us and whatever. Funny. All right, so then on the, let's see here, 18th, of course, we have Ruth Sanderson. Hi Pearl. We have Ruth Sanderson on the 18th, so that's really great. Oh yeah, okay, so you're up and coloring, Sandra? Yeah. Sandra UK. Good. Glad to hear it. All right. So I'm just working out my camera issues and, you know, how to do this. And like I said, my apologies if I look like I'm off looking to the side. Oh, insomnia has returned. Ooh, okay. All right. So, calendar. 23rd, guys, and I haven't announced it yet in the group officially. Melba Carter is going to be here, and we're going to talk about basics. So yeah, now you can put a face with a voice. By the way, am I sounding nice and clear tonight and not too loud? I have to keep remembering to use my indoor voice. All right. So the 23rd, Melba Carter will be here. She has years and years and years of experience in the arts, and we're going to go ahead and have her on. And she's got, oh my gosh, acrylic experience, basic shading and coloring and techniques and stuff like that. So I'm really happy to have her in, and of course that is Vicky saying hello. And then the 23rd we have Jeff coming in to do a live co-coloring, just like we're doing with Dawn. So I can't wait for all of these. I am so glad of all the stuff that's coming up and all the stuff that we're doing. Yes, more to come, guys, more to come. So yeah. All right, so that's it. So please, guys, and like I said, I will announce, I'll put up an announcement for Jeff and for Melba. And again, please, please, please share this information. I'm going to be working with the other admins, the admins of the other groups, to see if we can get postings in there. Guys, I am not in competition. You can't get me loud enough, Wanda. Okay. Okay, let me see what I can do. Let's see if that helps. Let me see if I can turn my headset volume up. And we'll see if that helps. So just let me know while we're doing the broadcast. Okay. So what was I saying? Oh, I am in absolutely no competition with any other group. You know that I recommend other colorists and let you guys know about it. And I'm not going to get into that game of, pilfering people or the whole bit. If you want to be here, we love you. I'm here 7 days a week, as you know, and I'm here for comfort. I'm here for teaching. I'm here that we can be great friends. So that's the whole thing that I am interested in. Okay, so let me pop you around. I think that's everything right now. So bear with me now, because now I got to swing you around. And we'll get you oriented. So yeah, that's the new format that I want to try out. Get my face on camera so you guys can have a face to the voice. And that's always fun. Okay. So, tutorial. Let me grab some water. Excuse me. Okay, well, I'm turning up my volume at all. Let's see here. Wanda, I don't know what to tell you on that. Zoom in. Zoom in. There we go. Okay, Lila says that I sound fine to her. Okay. A marathon packing. That's great. Yeah, try earbuds, Wanda. Headset. Everybody else says they can hear me, that I'm clear. Okay. Yeah, I play with it, guys. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. 11 p.m. until 7 a.m. this morning. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 guys. Okay. So what I wanted to go over a little bit is talking about, oh, and why I was off last night. I have Spectrum Charter, and they had a spectacular fail on their system. Oh, and listen, That's another thing. I appreciate you guys keeping everybody posted for me. I was so frustrated. And Dawn was apologizing because she couldn't come in for me. She's at the farm. Good bad news is I only have 5 of the item that was the big draw last week. And so she couldn't step in, but she was able to post, so I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, so Spectrum had a spectacular fail. The system went out shortly, I think probably about before 7 p.m. Eastern, no, Central. And they didn't get it back on until 4 in the morning. So they were out like almost 12 hours, which is a horrible, horrible loss to the company. So yeah, it was my fault getting a new router. Thanks, Sandra. Okay. And I kept trying and I kept trying and, you know, plugged, and then I kept calling Charter, and they had their voice automation system because by that time they were getting flooded with calls. So it was a mess. I really feel sorry for their tech people today, because if you don't reset your stuff after it goes back online, it doesn't work. So I'm sure they're getting a bunch of calls. Anyway. Oh, the picture's very clear. Good. So the picture is different now than what it was before, right? That's cool. Okay, so I'm going to do a tutorial, a little tutorial on my Arteza acrylic paints. I was playing with those last night. I went ahead and swatched them. Zoom out. Oh, the picture is amazingly clear. Oh, yay. Okay. Oh, good. Now I can't get away with anything anymore. So I'm swatching my colors. I'll eventually get them all on one piece of paper and 3-hole punch and put it in my notebook. I am so glad that that picture has cleared up. So these are my colors. And here's what I want to show you. And anybody that has experience in acrylic paint, chime in if you have something to say. That's another thing that you guys know about me. I have absolutely no ego in this. All right. So the first thing I wanted to tell you is I'm playing with the okay, if you ever want to have a camera on you, on me. Oh. Okay, Katie. At one time I had 3 cameras on the same live. Okay. I will consider that. Thank you. Okay. So Lila and Jean gave me the liquid pearls. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this stuff, guys. So I went ahead and started playing with it. And the really neat thing is you can vary the size. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I went ahead and on this area that I colored black, I went ahead and ran the pearls down here. And you can see how cool. Katie, do me a favor and text me that information, would you? Just say reminder about multiple cameras and text that to me. Or just if you don't mind sending me the program, that would be great. I'd appreciate it. Okay, do you guys really want to see me while I'm coloring? So I put these liquid pearls on, and they are just fabulous. And the neat thing is, even though I purchased those pearls to glue on, the point is with this stuff you have a ton of colors. Now, zoom in. So I'm curious now to see how they stick. Now the thing is, you don't want to spray after you put these on because you're going to lose the iridescent color. So you can peel them off. So there's my little teeny tiny one that was at the bottom. And there's the paper that it was stuck to. So I just was curious to see how easily they were to peel off. But you can see how really cool that is looking. I mean, they just feel so neat. But the neat thing about these too is you can take them and run a string of color, and you can run design. You know, let's say you wanted to do this whole hair piece in liquid pearl. Well, you could do that now. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. So there's an all-inclusive set that you can get on Amazon for this. I'm hoping my stimulus check comes through, and if and when it does, I will probably go ahead and get it. We'll see how that works out. Okay, second thing I wanted to tell you is, let me get some paper towel. La-di-da. Okay, now, unfortunately, I don't have any water in my studio, so we can stimulate the economy. So I've got these little paint palette thingies, and the neat thing is that when that acrylic dries, I want you to see this. I can just peel it off with my fingernail. Oh, I'm sure that's why they come off, Lila, because they're on top of another medium. But they stick really well. I mean, you have to really pull at them. So I have absolutely no concern that they're going to fall off. But again, you do the Krylon after the fact. Okay, so what I want you to see here, zoom in, is that I'm just going ahead and peeling off the acrylic paint from my little palette thingy. So that is pretty cool. Yeah, if Melba pops in the door tonight, I may have her just come on. We'll test the camera. Okay. So the point of me telling you this is the cleanup on this acrylic stuff is really pretty nifty. Zoom out. And because it's the acrylic paint, you just use a little bit of water on them. Okay. So let me throw that out. And then I have these little plastic cups that I got, and I reuse these all the time. So I pulled like 2 out of my bucket, you know, out of my package. And what I do is I just take a paper towel and I wipe it out. So even if I have the water from the paint, no biggie. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. You were thinking a way to do opals. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let me pull a distinctive color. We'll share it with the group when you figure it out, guys. Hello, Daisy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to blop a little bit into my container here. Zoom in. And give me 1 second. I didn't turn on one of my lights. There we go. Okay. Now, the trick to this stuff is that when you start to use it, go ahead and dab your brush into your water, but make sure that on your paper towel you pat it off. Acrylic paints are very, very sensitive to water. In other words, they thin up very quickly. Now here's what I want to show you. Zoom in. When you put your paint on, you do not want to brush it. And that's why. Do you see how it got really thin? Zoom in. Zoom in. See that? So what you want to do is you want to tap your paint onto the surface. See the difference? Zoom out. Now, I went on to eBay. I'm not using any special brushes. I'm using cheapy brushes. And I went on to eBay. Zoom out. And I got this set of brushes for like $7. And they're pretty cool. You can trim them down. You can trim them at an angle if you want. So there's those. And then you just pick out the size that you want to use. It looks like I was using that one quite a bit. Okay. So everybody see now how I am tapping the paint on. And the second you slide your brush, see that? You're going to zoom in, create a surface problem. If you want an even surface, you just want to tap it on there. Now, if you put too much water in the first go around, you can go back and go back over the top. But it creates a really neat surface. It's smooth. And this stuff dries really quick. Well, Sandra S., there you go. Now, if you put too much water on your brush, just use your next cup over. And if you make a whoopsie, like I just did, if you immediately rub it with your finger, you can push it away. So where I went over the line just a little bit there, if you instantaneously rub your finger over it and push it back where you want it to be, you can fix it. Yep, Posca pens. Those are acrylic paint, that's right. Well, up to a point, Lila, yeah, you can push it away. But that's right, because I sprayed this with Krylon, that's giving me that time. It's just like with marker, except alcohol, of course. So there are like all sorts of reasons why to pre-spray your piece. So I pre-spray and I post-spray. And then the last thing that I do is put my little doohickeys on there, including the liquid pearls, because you don't want to spray on top of them because you'll dull them. Hi, Maddie. Now, the neat thing is, too, is once you get the feel of your brushes, you can paint in pretty small areas. Oh, there you go, Sherry. Now, I want you to notice the little areas here where I had to get in between stuff, like in between the pearls. It worked beautifully. Here's an area where I had to get in between some vertical lines. It so helps when I stay on camera. See, and here's some vertical lines. You can get in between those as well. Once you develop that touch with your specific paintbrush, you're good to go. And let's see what we can do here. And because, oh, lost the thought. Oh well, it'll come back. There, see how beautifully I was able to paint that stripe on? Oh, and because you can thin your paint, it works really well. Everybody see this? Zoom in. All right, let's get that water there. Okay. So again, when you thin your paint, you'll get beautiful, non-lumpy coverage. Now, if you want lumpy for some reason, a textured surface, have at it. That's what acrylic paint is known for, is the ability to texture your surface. All right. And then I'll go through and do this teeny narrow line. Now, would I attempt those little buttons? Probably not. That's a little too teeny tiny. All right, zoom out, zoom out, and make sure that you get into all your corners. I didn't with the blue, and you can see those little white spots. Anybody have any questions? Did I open up the eyes of anybody with this acrylic paint? Sandra S. says yes, she really hadn't thought about this for the coloring. There you go. Zoom out. Everybody see how cool that looks? And once that dries, you'll have your shimmer. Oh, there you go. See it? Yeah. Well, Ronnie, those Posca pens, though, are really great for a point tip. So from that standpoint, you're okay. Don't feel foolish. But, you know, we all, we live and learn. You don't know, you don't know. But I will tell you about mineral spirits and that, not buying the Gamasol on Amazon, a little teeny tiny bottle for $9, $10. Okay. So anybody have any questions or comments on this? I'm using this as my practice piece because I made this part of her outfit metallic and I really wanted to make that cloth, so I'm just using this as my demo piece. Okay. And now, when you clean your brush, do not jam the tip of your brush downward into your cup. What you want to do is just gently bend your bristles on the bottom. Do not tap your bristles straight up and down. Why? Because you're going to ruin your paintbrush. And the paint cleans beautifully. The only paint that's coming out, yeah, it'll spread the bristles. The only paint that's coming out on this paper towel is paint that I had on the metal part here of my brush. But see, that's coming out perfectly clear. And Sherry has a wonderful point there, guys. You know, there are just so many. Yeah, yeah. It goes two ways, Sherry. Either when we find stuff to use and manufacturers are going to start making them in smaller quantities and charge high prices, or if they're making the stuff, we can find alternatives. Okay, now this water, I have a plastic trash bag that's got paper in it and paper towel and stuff like that, so I just dump the water in my paper towel. It's just a little bit. And I'm going to take my cup and I'm taking my paper towel. In 2 seconds here, I'm going to just wipe it out perfectly clean, and I don't dump this into the trash. Okay, zoom out. So there you go. Now, if you're wondering why she's got black on her face, I was making her kind of punkish. And I just wanted to put smudges on here, so that's where I started playing with that. And making this, you know, metallic looking. I made this look grungy and dirtier. So, fun. Fun, 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 fun. And if you guys ever come up with anything, post it. And look how cool that looks. And this surface now is basically dry where I did the hat. She got her hands in her makeup. Let's see if I can, there you go, there's the glimmer on the metallic. See it on her right side there of the hat? So by the time I get done adding the other pencil in here, it's going to look really cool. Cool beans. All right. Okie doke smoky. Oh, I'm so happy to be back. You'll hear me say that once in a while during my broadcast. Hey, that's why, you know, Sandra, you say it's fun to experiment. Well, that's right. You don't learn if you don't. And I don't mind making mistakes, because when I go to fix them, that teaches me too. If you're a good enough artist to fix your mistakes, you're a good artist. Okay, let me grab some water. Okay. Oh, and just reminding you guys, if you know somebody that's a coloring book artist that would like their stuff featured, I've got that preferred artist passport. Brings them into the group, features them, they get to yak on camera, promote it on YouTube. You guys get coloring out of it, so it goes pretty well. Okay, let's play with the peacock here. Deborah McDonald, get her in touch with me, Ashley. Okay. So I want to go ahead and do an aqua blue on this. Hey, if you guys want to contact coloring book artists and tell them you know somebody that features artists and colors 7 days a week, that's cool. All right, I'm just trying to decide right now what I want to make this peacock. I'm thinking orange. Okay. Let me just clear off that little headpiece here. Now this is where I did my pastels, and they erase pretty well, as you can see. Zoom in. Okie dokie, let's see what we got. Pearl orange. Okay, pearl orange and pearl canary. Papaya orange. All right, give me a second here. Pearl papaya orange. All right, there's that one. And we'll do the pearl golden hour. It's a happy day in the neighborhood. Okay. So I'm going to pop some orange in here. And we'll put some yellow in there. And I shouldn't dump my water, but that's okay because I'll use fresh. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and blend. You can tell how I'm feeling tonight. Just so stinking bad. Stinking glad to be back. That's what I meant to say. Okay, so and again, I'm tapping straight up and down. Let's move this over a little bit. And what I really love about these acrylic paints, hi Karen. What I really love about these acrylic paints is if they're too thin, you can thicken them up. If they're too thick, you can thin them up. Zoom in. Now, when you're working with two different distinct colors like I am, you're going to still want to reasonably blend them. Excuse my hand. Hi Melba. What's your granddaughter's name? Rayleigh. Hi Rayleigh. Okay, so everybody see how I'm working this orange and this yellow metallic. And again, I'm strictly doing taps. Oh, she said hi, ILene. Good girl, Rayleigh. You gonna give Grandma a hug for me? Rayleigh, give Grandma a hug. Oop. Okay. Now, when you're tapping your acrylic paint brush, you're jamming paint up into the brush. So you want to go ahead and you can wipe it off, but also you can periodically clean it and then just go back to what you were doing. And again, I'm just tapping this. Now, if you don't have acrylic paint and you're watching this, don't blow this broadcast off. Because first of all, I don't do one thing the entire time. And second of all, you're seeing coloring ideas. And notice how I can get into that tiny little V with this orange and my brush. Okay. All right. Let's make sure we're still in view. And see how I'm tapering out now with that little fine line? Melba's chomping at the bit for her appearance next week. Or the week after, excuse me. Okay. Now your acrylic paint dries very quickly in your palette. As long as you've got that little blob there, you can still reconstitute it. If you thinned it out because you're wiping out your brush. Oh, really, Melba? Okay. And if you screw it up, you fix it, right? Yes, ma'am. If somebody will look at a calendar real quick. Yeah, the reason I didn't make it a Monday is sometimes people just because. don't come in on Mondays, which I don't know why, but they can watch it in replay. That's fine. Okay, now I'm going to clean off, zoom out. Now, obviously, I'm playing with this artistically. Now, if you want to sharpen your points a little bit, for example, like I'm doing with this orange, you can do that. That looks a little better. There's just so much neat detail you can do with these acrylics, guys. There we go. See how I've got a point now on that yellow? It was looking a little weird. And then up here, I want to point that a little more at the top. Much better. Yeah, and as Wanda said, you can blend them. Just play. If you want to soften up that orange a little bit, you can dab in some of that yellow. See how we're starting to get a really nice soft look on that? Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean my brush off. And I need to pop in a little more orange. Excuse me for reaching. These paints will last you forever. You only need a little dot. I mean, if you were doing a huge canvas, good grief, of course, you're going to have a lot more. Use a lot more. So now what I want to do, good question. I don't know. Artesian Metallic Gouache, G-O-U-A-C-H. Melba, can you answer that question? question is, how are Arteza metallic gouache paints different from Arteza metallic? Melba, if you know that answer. Now, if you're doing an area like this and you get over your line, I'm just taking the back end of my paintbrush and cleaning that up. And this is why we're glad to have Melba in our group, and this is why we're so glad she's coming up. Hey Melba, I can bring you on camera. You got your phone with you? Melba, prop your phone up or hold it in your hand. I can bring you on camera. Don't push that button. Too late. Okay, now notice how I'm able to do these little teeny tiny areas. I'm using the side of my brush. Put them on my wish list? Put what on my wish list? Okay. The Arteza metallic, okay. Lila, do me a favor and send me a text, please. That way I'll see it. Zoom in. Now, again, guys, notice how I'm just dabbing my brush. And I'm tapping in that color. There we go. Zoom out. Look how beautiful that looks, guys. And I got one big orange area I didn't cover. Hold on. Actually, I'm going to wait on that. Well, there you go, Sandra. See? Now, but why don't you explain what a helping hand is? Now, if you need to touch up anything with your paint, go ahead. And we are good to go. All right. Let me clean my brushes. And what's really funny, remember when Maribel was saying she puts her background in first and then she paints? Or then she colors? That's exactly what I ended up doing. Isn't that funny? Melba, let me bring you on camera. Takes 2 seconds. Just get your smartphone and request to be in the room. Okay, brush is cleaned. Water dumped, cup cleaned out. Excuse my arm. And let me grab a little water, please. Give me a break a minute, guys. Hold on. Okay. I think Melba's ignoring me. Oh. All right. Doo-doo-doo. Now, what I'm going to do, a really neat color combination is orange yellow and aqua blue. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring in that's all right, you won't scare us. Yeah, I would never ignore you. You don't have to have makeup. We're not that kind of group. Just distract your granddaughter with a different toy. Okay, so I had a little paint in there. Okay, Lila, Melba is asking you to explain the gouache paint and how to use it. That's why I need you on camera. We'll get to your question, Lila. All right, there we go. Okay, I accepted you, Melba. It should be asking you connecting. There we go.
Hi, guys.
Okay, we can barely hear you. Can you speak up or turn your volume up?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Just barely.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to talk louder. Here's my granddaughter. Hi. Say hi. Say hi real loud. See, that's the lady that was painting the thing.
Yeah,
Riley?
Okay, let me go ahead. Try again.
Okay, can you see her?
Oh yeah, and I can hear you now. Perfect.
Way better. Way better. She was waving at you. She loved watching you paint.
Okay.
Okay, and to answer Lila's question, the gouache goes on pretty much like the acrylic does. It's just thinner to start. You know, you put it on thinner. If you put it on too thick, then it will craze and crack on you, and it's not good. Where an acrylic should not get thick and crack on you.
Okay, so
Is that what Lila did?
what's the purpose of using the gouache paint then if they're that similar?
It's called gouache.
Okay.
And there's times when you can use it on top of the acrylics and to give it a different look that you can't get with acrylics. And so it's just another, it's like using markers over colored pencils, kind of like that.
Oh, markers over color pencil. Okay. All right.
Yeah. You know, it's just a different medium. And a lot of people paint purely with gouache. It's not as, when you put it on, it's not as thick as an acrylic, so it's not as opaque. It's more translucent.
Oh, okay. So the gouache is more I'm sorry, it's more opaque or more translucent. I'm sorry.
It's more, it's more translucent.
More translucent. Okay. So, and what kind of look are you trying to give with it when you use it?
Well, there's a lot of different things. A lot of the more hardcore professional paint do a lot of things with gouache, and then you can tell the difference whenever you paint with it, the different look that it achieves. But I'll see if I can find something before I come on Tuesday that's something that's colored with gouache that I can show you the difference of it. It's something that you'd have to see.
Okay. But you can see a definite difference with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting. So, so for something like we're doing with the coloring books where I'm using the acrylic, so Ronnie said, so you use them together or you use them individually?
You can either use them separately or together.
Okay.
Okay.
Depending depending on what kind of look that you want. Okay. Okay.
Right.
So for something like coloring books, you know, you can see how I'm using the acrylic paint. I'm trying to make my voice very soft because my people are telling me I'm pretty loud. So for using in coloring books, is it worth the difference to have both kinds of paints?
Absolutely, absolutely. What you were doing there, dabbing it on like you were,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get as, that was perfectly okay with that. Now, if you want more of a permanent thing, you know, in your coloring book, then I would go, well, how do I say that? It'll just be a different look. Got the two of them together and you use them side by side, you would see the difference.
Ah, okay. So in other words, you're gonna be costing me more money then, right?
Well, not necessarily, because it depends on what look you want.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
just like using the markers and the color, you know, color pencils, you know, it's a difference like that.
Okay.
It's like a different medium.
Cool, cool. And now we found out that we can connect without any problem.
Right. I had Riley on my lap and she didn't want to get down because she's watching a baby show and she was almost asleep and now she's down and she has some clackers, you know, that look like little hands and they hit together and they are really loud. That's what I'm trying to do.
So what do you think of using acrylic paints in coloring books? Have you seen that done before, or what do you?
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's doable.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, I know Dee Dee Willingham does it all the time as well, and she uses acrylic paints. And I'd love to try and get her in my group and visit, you know, yak away. She'd be fun. Um, but yeah, I'm always trying to introduce new mediums to the group, so that's why I'm playing around with stuff. And instead of getting just the acrylic paint, I decided to get the acrylic metallics. Oh, we locked up a little bit. You still with us? Ah, we may have lost the connection. Okay. All right, guys. So we've got the difference explained. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pop her off. That's good. Yeah, Mel, but we lost you. It locked up. All right, well, I'll have to look into that paint then. I will do that. That is so cool. Katie says she's put in 8 books this time. Okay, am I still stalling? All right, zoom in. Okay, guys, we're trying this again. I'm back. Ugh. Alrighty. So, as I was saying earlier, I'm going ahead and working my oranges, my teals, and my blues. Well, thank you, Maddie. Down towards the bottom of my piece. And what I want is I want a nice flow of colors and a transition between my colors. Okay. So everybody's seen now how I'm transitioning those blues. And ILene is wearing lipstick tonight. Oh, yupper. So we've got this orange now, and the teal going into the blue, and the blue going into our different shades down here. So we really have a nice transition of color here. And what I'm going to do now is just work a really nice light blue down, all the way down. Now, I'm getting a lot of popcorn effect here. So what I'm going to do now is blend that, well, smooth it out. Not really blend it out because I'm not really putting any colors on there yet. And I'm going to work in some dark blue. Zoom in. Oops. And what you want to do, guys, is because of this peacock, with it being a peacock and being very smooth, and we've got the metallics, is you just want to make sure that all your colors are coming in softly as well. So I'm going to go ahead and tip the darker blue and blend that back up. And the other thing you want to do is I want to go ahead and add some shading on the lines between these feathers. And of course that'll give you your depth. So I'm just going to darken in that line. Now I want to incorporate some of that purple and pink. So my next step down is going to be purple. You're forcing yourself to come to bed, huh? Yeah, that is really wild with that snowstorm. Denver apparently is covered. Okay. So my next grouping of coloring is going to be my purple. And notice too, is I'm pulling this purple up in between the feathers right here, where that gap is. And I'm even pulling up a little purple, even when there isn't exactly a gap. Thank you, Sandra. I'm glad you liked the peacock. So I pulled it from orange to the yellow to the tealish green to the blue to the purple. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a rich reddish pink. Let me find something a little richer here. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now, remember how I was showing you on the mushrooms? That the red and the purple work together well on the top of those mushrooms? And what's going to happen now is that red will pick up everything in this garden that's red and pink, which is exactly what I wanted. And notice how I'm backing that red up right into the purple, guys. And that way you're seeing that transition. And then you can back up any of your other colors that you want to blend. I don't like the way this transition is right here on this blue. So I'm going to go ahead and use my blender pencil and soften that. Zoom out. Okay, there's the look now that we have. Okay. Now, I want to go ahead and strengthen. Let's see here. Yeah, I've got to do the crown yet, and his eye, and his beak. So I'm going to strengthen this blue just a little bit. Zoom in. And what I want you to notice is when I strengthen the blue, I'm just going to go ahead and do the circles. And as I'm transitioning into the green and the darker green, I'm just going to do half my circle. Dark blue crown with the pearl drop tops. Okay. Everybody see how I'm circling that blue now? You've got to get away from your flat coloring, guys. Okay, now are my hands tanner? I don't know. Not really. It may be something to do with the internet speed picking up better colors. I don't know. Zoom out. Okay. Oh, but wait, there's more. Now, anywhere your metallic paint may have gotten over your edge, go ahead and fix that with your pen. Takes 2 seconds. One big feather not blended. Which one? Lila. We talking about this one here? Left of the middle, so the middle, I mean, I did these half of the light blue. Okay, I did some of these halfway because it was starting to go into the green. These feathers up here, first of all, are we talking in the tail or on the back? Between the green and the dark blue. On the tail. Circle on the feather. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to do this. Right beside my paper towel. Oh my. My arrow is on top of it. Well, hopefully I'll find it while I'm puttering around. Good night, Maddie. Check out the end of the video tomorrow. On the left side between the light green and the dark blue. We talking about that one right there? To the right of that. It's a big feather. I hate to be, oh, this one right here. The next left one. Okay, got it. Oh my, we have fun. Okay, I'll lighten that just a little bit. Wait until you guys see what I'm going to do with this. Okay. Oh, my aching head. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in, zoom in, give him a very distinct eye. And I'm going to bring that point out of the eye just a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to darken this black part of the eye. There we go. And I'm going to, let's see what we got here. You love your ohos? Yeah. This is going to take me a year to do. I'm glad you got them, Sharon. try them a wee bit but haven't done your finger painting yet, don't forget your Krylon. Okay. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with them. Zoom out. Zoom out. Look at that. We got us a pretty picture. Okay, so now I'm going to make some noise. Watercolor in a tube. No. Hi, Ashley. I didn't see you earlier. Okay, I'm going to spray this little guy. And we're going to let that dry. Sharon, I put the Krylon Fix Tiff on. It's that workable Fix Tiff. I put it on before I do work. Right. Lila's explaining it. Helps with water-based markers, everything. Well, hello, Dawn. Okay. Now we're going to have some more fun. So I'm shaking up my bottle of liquid pearls. This is the white opal. And wait until you see what I have in mind. Okay, zoom in, zoom in. Now, when you undo your bottle, you need to tap it on the top. And what that does is that gets out all the air. Now, hi Brooke. This stuff makes little peaks on the top. You take your finger and you tap the back. And it lowers the peaks. And you know what? I'm going to do something a little different. Hold on. And you'll see why in a minute. All right, let me get rid of the peak on that one. Okay, so these dots are very close together. I'm going to show you a little trick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dot every other round thingy. And when that sets up, I'll do the other three. Now, again, we got little peaks on there. You just tap the bottom, and those peaks, you flick it with your finger, okay? And those little peaks go away. Now, when those get firm enough, I'll then go ahead and do the other three because it was smushing together. Okay. Now, let's go down to the tail. And everywhere that there is a circle with a black dot in it, I'm going to go ahead and put a dot of the pearl. Now, the neat thing about this stuff, there's a couple here I don't exactly have a black area, but I'm just going to go ahead and put a dot anyway. But what's really neat about this stuff is you can change the direction, change the size of this on the go. So as the circles get bigger, you add more. And boy, is this looking fantastic. Wait until you see this when I zoom out, guys. And remember, on other projects, you can spread this out, like when you're painting something. Oh man, does that look cool? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm tapping the back. And that's getting rid of all those little peaks. Now, one thing, when you're doing that, if you're working in small spaces, keep in mind that the stuff's going to spread a little bit when you do that. Okay, I'm going to put a couple more dots up here. Just to balance that out just a little bit. Oh man. Doggone it, guys. Drop dead gorgeous. Okay. And I'm going to tap the back. Either tap the back or flick it. There you go. Look at that. Everybody see that? How it's catching the light? Oh, right there. There you go. Look at that. And then, like I said, when this dries enough on top, I will go ahead and add my last 3 dots. Now, the neat thing about this stuff, zoom in, is that at some point in time, it's going to get hard enough that you can cut it. So if you have to split 2 of these dots, zoom in, you can go ahead and do that. Let me see if I can do this. So you can manipulate it just a little bit. Let me rest my hand on that. As need be. As that stuff dries. Okay? Zoom out. Zoom out. There you go. Now, if you really wanted to get wild with it, you could go ahead and trace around the outer circle on this. But that looks pretty cool as it is. And if you guys think it looks great, you ought to see it in person. Although you're telling me now that you see a sharper image since I upgraded. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, do you guys know what I mean about putting a circle around the outside of each pearl? But yeah. All right, let me grab a little water. Anybody have any other questions or comments? I am so tempted to trace those. I think that would look absolutely gorgeous. Okay. see what else trouble we can get in for the last half hour. Okay, say goodbye. I'll show you the piece tomorrow after it's dry. All right, this is from Art Nouveau Designs Creative Haven. I worked on this a while back. Lila, thanks again for the bottle. Jean, thanks again for the bottle. Okay. Now, I started this a while back. Let me go ahead and spray this real quick. Let that dry real quick. I love it when you guys surprise me with stuff. I'm glad to show it to you, and I get to play with it. As I'm okay. You make me try before you invest. Hey, you guys send it to me, I'll try it. So now I know that I want that full set of liquid pearls. Where's my stimulus payment? Oh man. Okay. All right. So this Art Nouveau that I started a while back. If Mikey likes it, we try it. Is that what you're going to start calling me now, is Mikey? Well, Mikey loves it. How much are liquid pearls? They're relatively expensive. I think they're $4 or $5 a bottle. But they've got a really large set for, I think it's $82. Okay, now remember, zoom in, zoom in. Remember that I told you not to break a color below an object if you can help it. So that's what I'm doing underneath this arm. Yeah, I'll bet you Amazon gets really happy whenever they sign a stimulus package. Okay. Now, do you see how I'm taking these hoops and emulating that larger circle with the light, medium, and dark? Zoom out. Different brands. I've got Shuttle Art, Brute Funner, and Prismacolor. Oh, that's a bummer, Lila. Jeez. Okay, so on this one here, I'm going to go ahead and bring up a little bit of that dark blue on the left. Zoom in. Yeah, your delivery might be a little longer, but so what? Okay, now, I've got such a small space in here. I really can't transition my color. And I want this to be about even. And so I'll go with the lighter here. So I've got the darker down here. Yeah, your packages may be in that building. Oh, man. I wonder if they just transfer the orders to another facility. And then and then in the first facility, just delete all the orders. So they'll delete them and then transfer them. Okay, everybody see how beautifully now these rings are looking. Better spray those packages with Lysol. Okay, so back to my dark on my smallest one. Yeah, some idiot Amazon delivery person delivered a package, took the picture that it was delivered, and then proceeded to pick it up and leave again with it. Problem was, the person had a Ring camera, or a camera. I think it was a Ring, it looked like it. And they got busted. Ah, wrong color. All right, hold on. And you know, those drivers are such idiots because so many people today have cameras now. I've got a camera on my front door. I cannot even imagine what the theft is out of Amazon, what their percentage of theft is. I may look that up sometime on Google just out of curiosity. Zoom out. All right, see how really pretty that looks? So what do you do on the delivery instructions? Just say look for the bug sticker. So I'm going to use my blender pencil very, very lightly. Okay. Everybody see now how I've combined that light, medium, and dark now on these rings to make it look great all the way through. No, if they take a picture of the door and there is not a bug sticker, I know it wasn't your door. Ah. Oh, I gotcha. I thought you were doing it just to identify where you were. Okay. I wonder why they don't take a picture showing the number. Gotcha. So you just call the customer service rep and tell them to take a look at the picture. Good night, Katie. Hey, don't forget to send me that information on that camera, okay? Text that to me, please. I would appreciate that. I'm only going to be on for 12 more minutes, Katie. All right, everybody see how pretty this is looking now? Now, as I'm looking at this, I've got what I think are red poppies up here. Thanks, Lila. I started this a long time ago, and I want to get this finished. Okay, now I'm going to show you this blending with the marker. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. Yeah, she is starting to fall out of that dress. I'm afraid to tap the picture. Okay, so this is where I'm putting the marker on and rubbing it with my finger. See how that's pulling up that marker and smudging it. Yeah, if she sneezes, she's in trouble. Now, the reason we are able to smudge this is because it's got that Krylon on it. Oh yeah, Lila, they're beautiful. That's what I'm using right now. All right, now right now I'm just going ahead. Oh yeah, don't don't discount your alcohol markers. It's just a different learning process on them. Now remember, when you have some really small spots that you're putting your marker in, you just tap the piece instead of smudging it, okay? And that gets rid of any funny smears. Yeah, the alcohol markers are much darker, that's right. It's like using that, we were talking about the gouache paint, acrylic paint versus standard paint. Everybody see how nice that smearing is on these flowers? Look how cool that looks. And I'm not done with that, you know that, right? All right. Okay, let me look at this and see where things are. Okay. Well, I'll put them on my wish list then, that gouache paint. Per your request. I mean, look how cool now that's smearing there, blending. I like that look. Let's see where that other petal is. Now, the nice thing about markers is when you blend them like what I'm doing, they don't blend very far. So you can maintain a lot of control with them. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. All right, see how cool that looks now? Now, I want a gold that I can't quite find in my markers. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my color pencil, zoom in, zoom in. All right. So on these little guys here, and at the moment I'm going to tint them. Just to get a lay of the land as to where they are dangling. Yeah, it does look like a poppy, doesn't it? Okay, now I've got a good lay of the land where these flowers are. And I can come back and shade them now the way that I want and make them dimensional. All right, let me do this side real quick and then I'll wrap it up. And as I've mentioned to you a number of times, if you have something that you're not quite sure of, do exactly what I'm doing. Go ahead and tint what you're reasonably sure of. And then you can go back and put in your dimension on these. Because again, you know I'm not just going to leave it like this, right? I was actually wondering if they were bleeding hearts. Ooh, pretty. Zoom out. Zoom out. So now you can see that pretty combination of flowers that we have. Okay guys, I'm going to call it an evening. I am so glad to be back on air, on camera. I missed one on the left. Okay, on the left-hand side, or on the right-hand side? Is that the one you were talking about? And we can see how pretty that is now with the red. And I'll play around with that too. Left-hand side near the border above where I just colored. Oh, right there, right there. Okay, left-hand side near the border where I just colored. Okay, now these flowers have little caps on them. No, my other left. Okay, that's a leaf right there. Okay, guys. I'll find it, Lila. Okay, guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Having lots of fun. Glad to be back. Good night, good night. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Really missed you last night. All right, guys, we're good. Don't forget, tune in tomorrow, same time, same place. And we'll have another good time. Take it easy. Bye.